Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome to Simply Spooky. I say good evening, everybody. There's nobody in the chat at the minute. There are two have just turned up. Excellent. Welcome, one and all. So, welcome everybody to Simply Spooky, and it is a Tuesday evening, and we are broadcasting through the Things Network. So, here we go. This evening, we're going to be talking about investigators. We're going to keep it nice and light this week because we've challenged ourselves to talk about a few topics in the last couple of weeks that have got quite heavy. So we thought we'd just make a nice, light, relaxed one this evening. So we're just going to chat in general about investigators, and I guess we're going to chat about just about their methods, as it were, and about them as individuals, and see where we go from there. So I just want to say hello, Eric. How are you?
Hello. Good.
Have you had a good weekend? Good week?
Yeah, so far.
Good. That's what matters. And Viv, how are you? I know you're working there, but I just want to check in on you.
Yeah, it's been a busy time with
always busy for you, though.
Crashing cars and Christ knows what else. It's been an interesting week, to say the least, I must admit. But nobody got hurt and we're all okay.
And that's the main thing. Bits of metal can be damaged, but they can also be replaced, whereas people can't. So that is the main thing. I just want to apologise to everybody who's out there at the moment, because I know that I'm sort of reclining. I'm being lazy. I'm always lazy, you know that. But I'm not being lazy on purpose this evening. The reason that I'm doing this is because it's the only room that I can get that's free in the house, and there isn't anywhere to prop the iPad this week. So we'll have to work the best we can with what we've got. So I just want to say hello to Annette. Good evening, Annette.
Sorry, I'll put it
Hope you're doing well. Hang on, we're doing it together. There you go, Viv. Good evening, Annette. I hope you're doing well. I'm not creeping. Good evening, young Cliff. I hope you're doing well, buddy.
Nettie, if you want
nice to see you both in the chat.
You creep. You do what you want to do, Nettie. You got my phone, girl.
You know what, Nettie? We love a creep. You know we do. Being fellow creeps ourselves. So yes. So this evening we're gonna. Viv was busy cheering out there.
Eric,
but we're going to start the investigation.
You're a creep.
There you go. We're going to start. We're all creeps. Fella creep. We're the creepsters. The creepster. We should call the chat that creepster crew. Right. Hello, Scott Matson. I hope you're doing well, buddy. Great to see you in the chat again this week.
Man.
Right. So, how did you want to come at this? Hello, Gray.
All right, Gray.
Nice to see you in the chat. I hope everything's good.
Great. Love to get you on a show if you're up for it, to talk about mental health and paranormal.
Definitely.
Let me know if you fancy it. Oh, for God's sake.
Oh, blimey, Scott. It's meant to be going around again, isn't it, apparently? Is this the new strain you've got? There's a new strain, allegedly. I don't know if there is.
He posted it on his page that they had COVID, and that's why they weren't doing anything.
Baldy man, Viv, cheers. Laugh out loud.
Baldy man. I'd make you laugh, though. You just keep your germs to yourself.
Sorry, what were you saying, Eric? Sorry, you were saying something, Eric.
Well, Scott posted on his page that they weren't doing very much tonight because they all had COVID. So,
it seems to be quite the thing at the minute. Oh, well, I hope whatever strain it is, Scott, I hope you feel better soon, bud. I hope you get past it.
Scott, just take a tablet.
Thanks, Grace.
Take a tablet, Scott. Have a hot drink. Get out in the fresh air and carry on as normal.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's why she told you to keep them to yourself.
Yeah, keep them to yourself. Horrible.
Yeah, well, anyway, Scott, I hope you do well, buddy. I hope you get over it pretty quickly.
Not
and, you know,
sperms. I don't want you to think I'm getting this confused. Sperms are different from germs. I'm talking about your germs.
Germs.
Just in
well,
case
if it was sperms, it'd be private business. So Parker's in the chat. Should we let him in?
Oh, only if he's got no germs.
Hello, Jay. How you doing, buddy?
I'm all right. Sorry, I'm having issues with my phone.
No, you're all right, mate. Scott says I'll take your advice, Dr. Viv.
I thought he was down the pub.
No.
He's in the garden. See? Summer has arrived. He's in the garden.
Do you know what?
Sorry,
Scott,
at my dad's nephew's birthday today. Fair enough,
happy
Low.
birthday, nephew.
Thanks. Don't worry about that, Lois. Not a lot. We miss you. So,
Scott, I am Doctor. Was it called Know It All, Know All Naffle or
hi,
something?
you Ryan. Hope you're doing well, buddy.
Ryan.
All right.
Yeah.
So, let's broach this subject then, shall we? Investigators. Viv, start that ball rolling.
Some of them are really good. In fact, a lot of them are really good.
Well, it's not us three, is it?
Definitely not.
I'm going to be controversial. A lot of them take the bloody piss. Right, seriously. You want to be having a word with yourself if you're one of these investigators. You are not on TV. You're not famous. Nobody gives two flying fucks that
I
you've
agree,
got
Ryan.
this equipment or that equipment. It's how you use it and if you know how to use it. You know, those that do it as a hobby, egotistical morons, yes.
Yeah, plenty of them out there, Ryan. You know that,
we
bud.
do this as a hobby. A lot of people, and if you do it as a hobby, great. You do affect other people's investigations, especially on public events.
Yep.
Especially with some of these mediums, it's not about you. It's not about what you feel. It's about what the people there enjoying the event, what they get, what they feel,
Evening,
what
James.
they can capture on their equipment. So those mediums with a big mouth that, oh, I'm being taken over. Oh, it's so negative. Fuck.
Exactly, Ryan.
off.
Exactly that.
Yeah. Fuck off. We don't need you. There are some very good mediums.
I've only just got here.
I'm having a rant. There are some very good mediums out there that do know what they're talking about, that do know how to investigate. Hi, Paul.
Evening, young Paul. Hope you're doing well, bud.
I'm having a rant. And the job of a medium, especially on...
No, that's all gone by the way, Gray.
Especially with events, is to make sure that the public are kept safe. Get that in your fucking right?
Evening, Brian. Hope you're doing well, bud.
Sorry, I'm having a right old rant here. So that's your job as a medium on public events. If people want to be taken off and what does the medium feel? What does the medium get? Do it with honesty. Don't lie because you think that you have to say something. If you get nothing, then tell them that you get nothing. And it's not about the people standing there in front of you. That investigation is not about giving private readings to individuals and taking it away from the investigator. Oh.
He's never off of one, Scott.
So
exactly, spot on, Ryan. It's absolutely. It is about ethics.
My investigation rant is about the mediums. Then you have good investigators and bad investigators. The bad investigators. Oh, by the way, before I just leave mediums, I just want to say, you cannot send spirit over the other side, right? Don't start playing that game because you are no one special to be sending anything, especially energy, to another side. You're not dead. You've not been there and come back. You know exactly what to do. And why would they listen to you in the first place? Get a bloody grip. And so I'm moving on to investigators now.
Can I just say, I'm going to intervene for 1 minute. I'm going to interject. The next faux medium I hear say they're going to keep an eye on the light. I'm going to put their fucking light out. Because it's on my tits.
Go into the light.
And the other thing that I don't get is when you get these investigators on an event that, is leading a group of people that maybe have not done it before.
Exactly, Lisa.
It's showing them how to investigate and the equipment and how to use it and how it works.
Oh, I love that one, Annette.
Right? So, that's one thing. But when you go to events and you see these investigators, you see these investigators and they say, look at me, it's all about, look at me, look how wonderful I am, look at this, look at what I've got, look over there, hear that noise. They even make up and fake things just for the sake of their ego. I tell you what, the next person I find doing that when I'm out and about, I'm going to punch them on the nose, Dan. Simple as that. Because
I agree. I agree.
They need outing. Anyway, I
True,
better
Scott,
shut up
absolutely
because
true.
I think my blood pressure has just shut up, Dan.
I think you just popped a cylinder there, Viv.
Flop popped a blood vessel.
You just be careful, love.
What annoys me is that they gauge their professionalism by the amount of equipment they've got.
Yeah.
That's what really pisses me off. And I've seen it before. People say to me, got to be a good investigator. Look, he's got one of them. And it's like, well, it makes no difference the equipment he's got. Some of the best investigators that I've worked with, they've been piss pot. They've had nothing, piss poor. And they've basically worked with what they've got, which is just their cells and rudimentary equipment. And they pull good results out of the air. All of this buzzing, singing, dancing, lighting up equipment. I'm not saying it's bad, and I'm not saying it doesn't work. In certain circumstances, it does, and we don't know until we try it, and it's got to be tried and tested. But what I'm saying is, it's the suit doesn't really make you the man in this case, does it? It's really about the ability behind the person, not the equipment they've got. That's me, Dan, says Brian. But overall, there are some fantastic investigators out there, some fantastic people. I enjoy working with them and I enjoy being with them. But, you know, there are an awful lot of knobheads as well. It has to be said. But luckily enough, I mean, we sort of steer clear of that element now. We just work with people that we've learned to get along with over the years. We respect them and we enjoy working with them. And that's what we do. And it keeps us away from that fringe element. So, yeah, we're happy about that.
I mean, I wouldn't mind doing the big investigations, you know, like those group ones, if, you know, just for a bit of fun. But when I really want to investigate, it's going to be with a very small group of people.
Yeah, I agree. We don't buy expensive equipment for two reasons. One, Spirit don't care. And second, we're Scottish and too tight, says Scott. Hello, Chantel. I hope you're doing well. That's Cockney. It's got to be a Cockney accent.
Are you not singing to her?
Oh, Chantel, you're so hot. I love you. I think you're great. I want you to be my maid. I don't know what style that was in, but it was something along David Bowie with a sore throat.
David Bowie.
Oh, that'd be interesting. That'd be good.
Hey, we need to, talking of bolt offs, we should go to that place, Dan.
Same here, Lisa. Same here. I agree. You know, with TV and YouTube now, I don't watch any of them. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying they're all liars. Of course they're not. That'd be crazy. But there's such a vast majority of people out there trying to hoodwink and coming out with such bollocks that I choose not to watch it anymore. I just stay clear of it because A, it makes me angry, and B, there's nothing to be gleaned from them.
No.
You know?
Where's
he gone?
What have you done to him?
I don't know.
No idea.
You just know this now?
Well,
I know it shows how much he factors in my. I don't even see him in my periphery.
Right.
What do you think, Eric? What do you think?
Well, same thing as you guys. Like I said, I don't like, especially when people walk in on each other doing certain investigation parts. You know,
Saw a couple, Brian.
PP and somebody's jiggling around their keys or their jacket. I mean, it's annoying as hell.
Oh yeah, it drives me mad. I can't work with big groups now, irrespective of whether they're. It's not public because with the public, there's an excuse there.
Yeah,
they generally don't know what they're doing. Most of them, so they're coming along because they want to explore it, see if it's for them, or just have a little bit of a thrill and enjoy themselves, which is fine. If that's what they want, that's absolutely fine. You crack on, you do that, not a problem.
Yep.
I don't really even like working with other groups now where there are so-called seasoned investigators, because invariably they might be seasoned investigators, they might pretend they're seasoned or think they're seasoned investigators, but the way that they do it, they still do it according to the way that the television does it. Yep. They still do it according to these YouTube channels, and they're all feeding each other. They're all feeding off of each other. They're all using the same approach, and it just doesn't work. Hi, Jacqueline. It just doesn't work.
But have you noticed, though, Dan, these seasoned investigators, they claim to be seasoned, but I've been on these public investigations and I've sat back and watched, and they act like idiots. Some of them are not seasoned. Well, they might have gone to lots and it's just to hang out with your mates. They're not actually investigating, and they don't know what anything means.
No.
Which
Not
to
great
me,
to me. Like you know, you've been doing it for a long time. I've been doing it for a long time. Sure, Eric's been doing it for a long time.
Sarah,
Hiya, Sarah. What annoys me is you turn around and you think, here we go. And as soon as that in the mouth, I've been doing it for like 400 years. Do you know what I mean? It's like, fuck off. You know, just go away. Go away. You know, you're having trouble undoing your bag. Let alone you know what I mean? You piss off. You're doing me head in. That drives me mental.
but you know what, Dan? To me, like doing it for 400 years, let's say, doesn't mean anything. It's whether they've learned anything in that time. Have you actually researched anything in that time? Have you specialised in one area in that time? Have you gone to experts in the field? Have you read books? Have you been out looking? Have you
listened to anybody?
Have you done any experiments yourself? No. It's like,
no,
really?
No, it drives me mental. And you think, well, if you have been doing it that long, then you've picked nothing up. You've learned absolutely nothing, because you're just going verbatim. You're copying things that are on the internet or that are on TV.
Why not, Lisa?
I don't mind graveyards, so long as you're respectful and you don't do you don't show the new area with names on it. If it's Victorian or old, that's fine.
Do you know what, Lisa? People forget, right? They say, there's no hauntings in graveyards. Bullshit. I call out bullshit. And the reason I tell you that now, Lisa, is because I have investigated, seen it, captured it. I've got a full-bodied apparition caught in a graveyard. The person hadn't been buried in the graveyard. They had an accident just outside of the graveyard, but the apparition seems to wander into the graveyard, and we got it. A friend of mine who is buried in a graveyard, there is an apparition of someone that goes into the graveyard to sit beside somebody's grave and is seen actually doing it. That's what you call a replay of events.
Yeah.
They're not actually buried there. But people that say, graveyards should be respected, yes, they should be respected, but they also should be respected for their history. It's not about the newly buried people there or anything like that. The history of graveyards go way back, further than you can imagine, like the graveyard that we know today, burial mounds, that sort of thing. It goes way, 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 way back. And people are missing a trick by saying, you shouldn't go and investigate a graveyard. I think, without people going into graveyards and doing those investigations, you're allowing the little krauts that go in that want to desecrate graves or graffiti and that. If you go into a graveyard and you're sitting there quietly and you see a group of thugs come in and they spot you, chances are they'll stop what they're doing and leave. So rethink that one if you can. I
think with graveyards, the thing is that people say, well, I've questioned people and I've asked people what was disrespectful. But it's disrespectful. In that case, it's disrespectful investigating the dead anywhere then, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what I mean? You're going to people's private homes where they used to live and investigating their homes, or dealing with people that got problems in their properties because the previous incumbent died in there and never left, they believe, and you're going in there. So what's respectful, what's disrespectful? It's like Ouija boards, isn't it? I don't like doing that because, you're opening a gateway. You open a gateway, as soon as you open your mouth to invite something in anyway.
Lisa has said, just my opinion on people around my loved one. We get that, Lisa, but it's like it's not your loved one that we're talking about. It's about the older graves. It's about the history in that graveyard. So you shouldn't see it as they're going in to see your loved one. They most probably wouldn't take any notice of that side of the graveyard. It's the older stuff. I know what you're saying though, but
you know what? I wouldn't actually pinpoint or zone in on any one particular person's grave anyway. But if somebody come to me and said, look, if there's a spirit came forward and intimated that they were buried there, and then they gave you information as to where they were buried and their name, and then you could find it. That's an invite from them, then, isn't it? You're actually, you know. But yeah, I wouldn't.
But it's like, Dan, when there was an investigator going to the graveyard where my brother was buried, is been interred. And so I sent the investigator to my brother's grave. I said, yeah, do your Echo Vox, Spirit Box, whatever it is, over my brother's grave. That's brilliant. I sent her to his grave. She found it. And she was there before I even saw his grave. And she got an A-class EVP in his voice, talking.
And he was a ghost hunter himself, wasn't he?
And he was a ghost hunter himself. Now, he died, not even 10 years ago now. But if anyone wanted to go and do that, I'd say, yeah, go to my brother's grave. You know, it isn't an issue, you know, because our grieving, everything that the family went through is been done and gone. But that's just my opinion. But some people, yeah, it is a personal opinion. And I think that has to be respected. But when it comes to the older graves, they don't belong to anyone, you know. When I say the older ones, chances are the families are gone now, you know.
Well, yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? It wouldn't. I mean, I would never show anybody's personal grave that was new. Of course, because you never know you're going to upset, and I wouldn't concentrate on any one particular grave. But yeah, I'm going in there and just randomly seeing if there's any energies around. Nothing. I don't think that's any different.
Lisa, how do you feel about famous graves then? Because when I say that, I'm talking
Hi, Andy.
about
Hope you're doing well, bud.
Highgate Cemetery, and it's a really, really
old
grave. It's a really old graveyard there. They have some new graves, but if you go over to the other side, you have all the Victorian architecture and even pre-Victorian. So,
great point.
You know, it depends. You know, you've got to think about the history and the architecture, the graves themselves, the people in the graves, everything comes into it. Maybe they should be remembered, you know, the famous poets and
do you know what? You're right.
And things.
You're right. And so is Nicholas spot on. And the thing is as well, if you think about like old churches, you've got graves that run down the middle of them. You know, you got them graves. And the reason that they're on the floor like that is they want people to walk over them, because the old belief was when you're walking over someone's grave, you're remembering them.
Yeah,
and that's why they did it. That's why they buried them like that.
Chances are, though, Dan, they're not in a grave where
Lisa, you're not offending anyone, darling. No, darling, you're fine.
You're not. No,
your
you're not,
opinion.
Lisa.
You're not offending anyone.
The chances are that the body, the actual coffin of that grave that you're walking over, is interred underneath in the crypt. So it's most probably somewhere on a shelf. So you're not actually walking on somebody's grave.
No, it's just you're remembering that person, which is, I think that's quite a sweet thing. And I think it's like you know, it's true what Nicholas said. It's remembering them, and they might not have any visitors to go there and just spend a bit of time sitting by someone's grave that had no visitors for God knows how long. I think it's quite a sweet thing. And to try and envisage in your head who they were and what they were like and the lives they lived.
Dan, you do get the idiots, and I don't know about you, if you've seen it, Eric, that would take out a Ouija board and actually do it on someone's grave. I just think they need to shoot it. That is just so disrespectful.
There's no, you don't do that.
Investigate. There are other ways to investigate than doing that.
Yeah, and but then the thing is, I think the thing with grave over here, obviously, a lot of the churches have got the graveyards attached to them, and so what it is it's not just the people that are buried there, but a lot of the people that are buried there spent a lot of time going to that church because it was a focal point centuries ago. So hopefully you might be dealing, or you know, you might be contacting or connecting with them.
Jacqueline's made a good point.
Yep.
Well, yeah. Who knows? Exactly.
It's called residual hauntings when that happens. I don't think going to a grave.
Yeah, that's fair enough. That's fair enough, Lisa. That's all right. That's all right. Nothing wrong with that.
I was going to say, in England and Scotland, you got such great back history with so famous people buried in graveyards. I'd want to find out everything I could, because history is usually lost by generations.
But
here's a question, Lisa.
No, they shouldn't be anywhere near your grandparents' grave. If they're zoning in on one person's grave, it's disgusting.
No, but here's a question for Lisa. Right, so she's just said, "I'll go mad if I went." No, go back, Dan.
Sorry,
jumping ahead. I'll go mad if I went to my grandparents' grave and seen people there. But what about the people buried next to your grandparents' grave? They'd be near your grandparents. You'd have to see it logically. You know, if you'd sort of turned up and there were people near your grandparents' grave, you could automatically go into a rage and realise actually they're seeing the people next door. You know, I think sometimes it's how you view things and how you feel at the time. There are some do's and don'ts when it comes to investigating that Dan's explained, that Eric's explained, and myself. But it's all a matter of personal preference. You know, if you don't want to go into a graveyard, then that's totally up to you. There are investigators that go in graveyards. Me and Dan do. We'll put our hands up. We've had the most terrifying and most exhilarating experience in a graveyard.
Phenomenal.
But we wouldn't put new graves on show and definitely not show the inscriptions. They don't need to see that, even if they are old, you know. So, you know, there will be one or two that we would show, that I would show. I'd definitely show my brothers. I wouldn't show his full name and stuff. But yeah, it's all a matter of preference and how one perceives it, isn't it? Really,
exactly. I think where I would draw the line at it, and I think I'm getting at what Lisa says, where I would draw the line at it is when you see some of these investigators on YouTube and they go into a graveyard and they take something like a REM pod or they take something like a ghost box and they'll place it on a particular grave and then they'll zone in on that and that's
that's
disgusting. That's disgusting. That's horrendous. That's, you know.
Sorry, I was just putting it up. Sorry,
exactly. Dan. The graveyard, and I've always said that, Lynn. The thing about graveyards is like it's to me, it's like it is a history book. Every life in there that's been lived, they've experienced exactly the same as us. They've loved, they've lived, they've cried, they've passed on, but they've done it all, you know. And the thing is that when you're in there, it's like a library of lives. That's what you're looking at, and
exactly,
that's what you're trying to, you know, you're dealing with people, and that's what you're seeing them as people. You're putting, pardon the pun, I don't mean it in any disrespect, but you're putting flesh back on the bones of that person. You're rebuilding a life. So you're seeing them, you know, in your mind's eye. And
it's
who knows?
It's like a book living history, isn't it, Dan?
Yeah, exactly, Viv. And the thing is, who knows? Maybe the way that you're seeing them is exactly the way they were. And maybe the life that you're envisaging was the life that they lived, because maybe they're conversing with you through your mind. You know, maybe they're conversing with you through telepathy or what have you.
Annette says, if you go to a graveyard, you do it respectfully and take pictures of other stuff when people are not around.
Yeah.
So what about CCTV cameras then, Annette, that are going 24/7? Do you think that they shouldn't be doing that then, or not take film? It's a grey area. It's a very grey area.
Very grey. Yeah, that's disgusting, Lisa. That's disgusting. That's terrible.
Exactly, Sarah. But you know what, with the picture thing, let's bring it back to that, Dan, right? So you're filming or you're taking pictures. Would you wait for people to move out of the picture before you take that picture, or would you take it anyway?
What if I was, sorry, say again, if I was taking a photo?
Yeah, would you wait for people to move out of the picture?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
If I wanted to get a building in, I'd wait for it to move out of the way. If I weren't bothered, I'd take photos with them in it.
Yeah, I mean, I would take pictures anyway. I mean, chances are you don't know him, you're not going to see him. It's not going to affect you.
No.
By doing that as well, I've done that in the past. Well, actually, someone took the picture of me, let's just say, and I ended up having to go to a police station and assisting the police with the help on a murder case, because this picture was taken and I was named in this picture. Oh yeah, we know that person. That's brilliant. Oh, we need to speak to her, because on the night that I was there, a young lady went missing and was subsequently murdered. So taking pictures, again, this is another grey area. People say, oh, it's illegal to take pictures without someone's permission. No, it's not.
No, it's not.
You can also film without somebody else's permission. That's not illegal either.
Yeah.
I would steer clear of children because that's that's not right. But when it comes to other people, yeah, I will take a picture. I might not necessarily use it. I might even sort of smudge them out of the picture or blur their face or whatever if I was to use it. But yes, I would take a photograph, because you never know. You might take a picture of something that you wasn't supposed to have seen, or something could have happened subsequently, and you've got a photograph there to prove it. So yes, I would take
I really enjoy doing. I like looking at. A bit of a. I'm going to admit to something now, and I'm a bit of an anorak for it.
Are you weird? Is it weird?
It is that. It is that. It's been weird completely. Everybody knows that anyway, so that's been out the bag years. The one thing I really enjoy is looking at old footage. So I like looking at old footage. I'm obsessed with it. Really obsessed with it. Going right the way back to the, not mid, but latter part of the 19th century, so Victorian period. And I love it. And I love looking at the people in it because it's a social document. And the thing is that's the same with videos that people are taking today. I don't care because they're socially documenting life in this time period. And when that's gone, people in years to come will be able to look back on that and hopefully get the same joy out of it. And I don't know, maybe they'll see me in one of those little videos. Who knows? But it's nice, isn't it? It's nice to think that. It's nice to think that that's going to be around forever. I've got no problem with people videoing.
I don't care. No.
I'm not bothered. I'm not bothered.
Eric, do you care?
I don't care.
No. Somebody come up to me and went, I want to take a photo of you. It wouldn't bother me. Not that they would, but Okay, we went to an old graveyard and a friend said he felt like there was hundreds of people just walking around, rain and sunshine, as these grieving souls that used to visit when they were alive.
Yep. Residual haunting.
Yeah.
Andy says, yes, I would. That means take pictures, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The CCTV was stopped from being put up in that graveyard because it's an intrusion into people's showing personal. Yeah. But then, the other point of view, I'd be think if my loved one's graves got damaged, I would be then annoyed that there wasn't CCTV.
Yeah, exactly. And this is the next thing that Lynn said.
We had a graveyard here that they put up, police put up.
Exactly, Lisa.
Because kids were coming in, destroying the headstones, knocking them over.
God, kids today, a lot of them are good, but there's an awful lot of bastards out there.
Hi, Kelly.
Hi, Kelly. Yeah, that's fair enough, Lisa.
You should, Lisa. Yeah, you should, Lisa.
Good, thank you, Kelly. Hope you're doing the same.
So, CCTV, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to talk about this quick before we move on away from that. I think it's a good thing, but it depends how it is used.
Yep.
If they're recording their CCTV on a loop and people are going there and grieving and that, it's kept private. It's only recorded, it's only sort of that piece taken out and recorded when something's happened, when there's been, I don't know, an act of vandalism or somebody digging up a grave somewhere, because it still happens today. You think it doesn't? It does. It does. So, I think there are good elements to it and bad elements, but, you've got to understand that they're not, if the church has put up the CCTV or the cemetery has put up CCTV, it's there for a reason. And it's not about intruding on the people that are grieving, that are going to the graveside and grieving. I can't for 1 minute think that they would use that. Not at all. It's there for your safety. What if you're there by yourself? Even during the day, you're there by yourself, you're grieving over a loved one. It's easy pickings. You can become a target at any time, even in daylight.
Well, they're quite lonely places, aren't they?
Exactly.
And you get all creeps hanging around them.
Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe it's not even put up even for the dead. It's put up for the living. It's something that you've got to think about. And I know when people are grieving, that sometimes that kind of notion or knowledge completely goes out of their head because they're so into their grief. But again, I don't know. People need to sort of take a step back and breathe. I think sometimes, Dan, like me.
No, I agree with you. I think the thing is as well that I personally, I understand about people with civil liberties. I understand it. I get it. I do understand it. But overall, I'm not. fussed about CCTV. Digital face construction and stuff like that. I don't like. I think that's taking it too far. But certainly stuff like CCTV, I'm glad that it got it, because at the end of the day, there are ne'er-do-wells out there. And it is nice to know that if a girl gets attacked, then the area is covered. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that they can go zone straight in and go, right, we've got the bastard. You know, I think that I haven't got a problem with CCTV, really.
Do you know?
I know people have, but I'm not that bothered.
Do you know, I remember telling you this, Dan. When I worked for a company, I had to walk to my car, and the cut through was through an old cemetery, and it's the old part of the cemetery, and there's no lights. And I thought, and it was that dark. It was that really dark, and there's no. I thought, I'd just get the light of my phone and shine it on the floor so I can see where I'm walking. And then I heard footsteps come up behind me, and they came up really close. And I turned around quick. There's no one there.
Oh.
And it's like, shit. Started walking really fast down the cemetery. And
That's
after that, I took a torch everywhere. Yeah. But it was really freaky. Really
Hiya,
freaky.
Rigger.
Hi, Rigger. No, but Dan, that cemetery is very old, very creepy. When I say very old.
Yeah. That's the
Very
thing, though.
early
Mind you saying
Victorian
that,
burials.
as long as you'd be safer with a spirit walking next to you than you would somebody living.
Well, I don't know. No, with my luck, I've had the spirit attack me. I've had all sorts of things going on. I don't trust no one. God.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. Yeah, no, it's quite. You know what? It's nice. It's nice that because it's not. You're interacting with them, aren't you? They're not forgotten.
Do you
But that's the thing.
Dan, that cemetery my brother's buried in that I wanted to take you, they had their open day, and on the Saturday or the Sunday, I went on the Saturday and it was on the Sunday, Chelsea football team turned up there.
You were saying?
Yeah, to do things with the children at the cemetery. Yeah. So even something they got to see it. They go there and they celebrate life and do things for the kids. They've even got a coffee shop in the cemetery. It's amazing.
That's the posh cemetery, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't fear the living. And I don't fear the dead to a degree. I don't fear either.
It's just living arseholes I can't stand. I fear living arseholes because I don't trust them, but the dead, I'm not that worried.
What about investigations? Here's a question for you, Eric. What about investigations just purely for the spiritual people, the mediums, where they don't bring equipment, where they just go in and just be? Do you think that's a good idea, Eric?
Yeah. I mean, you can get evidence, to your own self. You're not catching it on film or anything, but it's a good experience.
What do you think, Dan?
What about mediums going into graveyards and just
not necessarily graveyards, but just doing the investigation just with a group of mediums without any equipment?
If I trusted the mediums, that's fine.
Yeah.
But if they were like, what they're like, if they come at every fuck as a medium, when you go on an investigation. I kid you not, I went on an investigation once with 40-odd people. There was me and one other woman that weren't mediums. And it was like the 38 of them were mediums. It was like, all getting the wrong, all contradicting each other. And of course then, I'm definitely, you know what it is? I'm picking up a different layer of history. It's always a get-out clause. And it grates me. But yeah, if it's a proper medium and that, great. No problem at all. It's interesting. It's good to sit and watch. I mean, I've got no mediumistic abilities whatsoever, so it's good to sit there and listen and watch people do it because you don't know.
Yeah.
But Dan, do you think so? As a medium, right? There's a thing called reading chords, and mediums could read each other's chords. So what they're actually giving is not. It's not what I call. What the haunting is, what the true thing is. Do you know what I mean?
They're picking up on each other's.
They link with each other, pick up on each other, and then that could
So
start.
false information they're giving each other.
Yeah, exactly. It's
See, I didn't know that. I didn't know they could do that. I didn't know that was something. I didn't know it was a thing.
And then they'll swear blind. Oh, this little girl died in here, and she comes back looking for her mummy. I think we should all pass her into the light.
Do you know another thing that annoys me as well? And I've had medium saying it's like, do you know what is? There's a little blonde girl here. Be careful. Be careful. Dangerous. Dangerous. Little blonde girl's dangerous. It's like, for fuck's sake. They can't all be demons. You know what I mean? It's like, when is the little blonde girl just going to be a little blonde girl? You know?
Yeah.
Not the spawn of evil. When is it just going to be a little girl? It's like it drives me mental, you know?
Yeah. Oh, I just want to show this quick, Dan. Lisa is saying, how would you know what they're saying is true?
Research after. That'd be it, Lisa. But you wouldn't know. I mean, at the time, you wouldn't know. But then the chances are, if you can research something and you go so deep and you go so far off track that you pick up one little nugget of information that isn't out there in the sphere, and then they've got pick up the same thing. Chances are, it might be a case that they've got something on the head. But overall, you wouldn't, because if you can find it, they can find it.
I'll tell you something about trusting a medium. Medium is real when they don't know you from Adam, and they can pick up every single little thing and get you spot on. That's a real medium.
Yeah, but you know what? They cold read as well, don't they? A lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
So Annette says I had to nip in the park. Oh, sorry. Do you want me to read it? Or
yeah, you read it.
Yeah, I had to nip in the park once because I was dying for a wee and no way could hold it. Thanks for that, Annette. I was wearing a jumpsuit, so I was stood there virtually naked. Never knew at the time the park was being watched by cameras from muggers. That's brilliant. It's about 3 in the morning after a night out. That's brilliant.
I think we've all done that, Nettie.
That is brilliant. I'm hoping when I die, the spirit inside of the person I am post trap will be able to spend the rest of eternity as the person I know. Nobody's got the right to judge.
No.
Era. Nobody's got the right to judge another person.
Be the person that you're supposed to be.
Exactly.
You are who you are. It doesn't really matter what the rest of the world thinks.
Yeah.
Somebody's like harassed, prosecuted because of that. Their problem, not yours.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know, Dan, I went on an investigation. I think you was there actually that night. And we were split into groups. And I was put in this group and I was thinking, oh, great, this is going to be an interesting night. And there was a team, there was about 4 or 5 mediums in the group that I was in. And I sat there with my friend Neri and I said, oh, this is going to be interesting. And she said, Are you gonna join in? I said, oh my fuck, I'm just gonna sit here and be quiet. So we were in this room.
I know where that was.
And there was a medium off.
It was the castle.
Oh my God, these mediums, so-called mediums, were getting the ump with each other and arguing and bickering. And I just sat there and thinking, shit, like I really wanted to just enjoy the investigation and just, see what this room had to offer myself. And we had to sit and listen to people bickering and quarrelling. You should be ashamed of yourselves, mediums that do that. Ridiculous.
Do you know what? I remember that night because there was somebody there who was on TV. They were not professional, but they were a ghost hunter. And they were very well known. And they said to me, look over there. I went, what? That shadow. That shadow's moving. I went, that's your fucking shadow. They went, is it? They went, it's bobbing up and down. I went, yeah, because you're going like this. The fuck is your shadow?
Yeah.
So what we got here?
Very, very, very hard.
They are out there, Lisa. They are out there. And,
word of mouth, Lisa. Don't go looking for it. Or if you look for it, see if one comes recommended. Word of mouth. And they will not charge you the earth. If they charge you too much money, steer clear. Me personally, when I get called for readings, they're free. I don't charge people. because I don't feel that I have the right to, because that one person that can't afford it is the one that really needs it.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
and I go
And
along
that's like
those
that's the
lines.
same with paranormal groups, isn't it? We don't charge for that because if they charge, they're not doing it for the right reasons.
No.
All
Go
right,
for
Carl, hope you're doing well, buddy. Good to see you in the chat, mate.
Mr. Hutchinson, hope you're well. Love to Sam.
What was I going to say? Oh yeah, love to Sam, mate. Sorry.
Yeah, do you forget about Sam?
I know, I'm terrible. What was I going to say? Yeah. There's a lot of people out there, but it's hard. It's like separating the wheat from the chaff, isn't it? Really. You know. I mean, I've been doing the same as you for years, and it's hard to find. Even I have trouble with a lot of them.
Yeah, I don't do mediumship on events anymore if I can help it, because when I do, Dan crashes his car. Well, he runs things over.
We just investigate, don't we?
He runs things over now. So I know I just keep my mouth shut and just don't tell him.
Killer, they call me. Killer.
He is a killer. Dan, tell me when to
stop. Killer.
Dan, tell me when to stop.
Oh, stop.
Try again.
Stop.
Well, I got one.
Costs those two people go hard work half an hour. I would do TV.
Oh, bless you.
Yeah, but bless you, Lisa. But yes, but be careful, Lisa, because there are a lot of
Are you ready for next
charlatans out there.
Dan?
What's that? Oh, what is it?
Can we just do that?
Didn't we do one of them?
No, it was egos. We put that one back in because somebody picked it out and we put it back in.
There's an awful lot of fakery in the paranormal, but we'll get on with that next week. My word, is there a lot of fakery in the paranormal?
That'll be an interesting chat.
It will be an interesting chat.
So, when people investigate, Dan, this is a real big gripe. You know about it, Carl. Eric, I'll tell you about it. Is you see investigators, I sit back and watch them. Okay, everyone be quiet. I'm going to shout out. Okay, fine. So you're sitting there very still, and they say, "Is anybody there? Would you like to step forward and tell me your name?" And I look at Dan. Fucking hell. And he says, "What?" I said, "Would you like to step forward?" Really? When you meet people for the first time, you say, "Is there anybody there? Would you like to step forward?" You say, "Hello, my name's Viv. Yep. What's your name? Nice to meet you."
We always start with that, don't we? We introduce ourselves.
Bloody step forward. And nobody can step forward to speak to you. Just piss off with that phrase.
The one I like to use, and I think it breaks a bit of the ice, I turn around and I say, "I know you're there. Please communicate with me because I'm going to look a right dick if I'm here talking to myself. Please communicate with me. And please don't think it's funny making Danny look like a mug." But that's the thing, isn't it? It's dealing with people the way you deal with people. You're not dealing with anything other than a personality, other than a person. So just treat them accordingly.
Eric, do you think people lose all sense of sensibility? Their sense goes when you switch the lights off and you've got to put a torch in around, that their sense goes with the light, because I just think some of the questions and what they're asking is just absolutely ridiculous.
Some of them.
Fucking hell, Annette.
All you have to do is talk to them like they're another human. I mean, hi, my name's Eric. You introduce yourself?
I hope they got the bastard.
And then I would have pointed at it and laughed.
Yeah.
Bits of giggles. Oh, is that all you got?
So it's not even a cold night.
Yeah. Sorry. Oh, it's just funny.
It's the one who play with coins or keys in their pockets and don't realise how they're doing all bloody. Yes.
Go on, Dan, you're bright with EBPs. Go on. Yeah. Tell everyone about your gripe.
What one? What? I've got so many.
Me too.
No space for a question before the next answer.
Oh, that's the worst one. It's like you say, right, okay. I always say allow 15 seconds, maybe around about there. You don't have to be 100% precise, but allow around about 10, 15 seconds allow them to catch up, because we don't know. They might be working on a different time frame where they are, or not a different time frame, but working on different vibrations. So the sound might, it might not get through and feed through and needs time to come back. And they go, yeah. So you go, is there anybody there? Leave it. Could you tell me your name, please? My name is such and such. But they don't, do they? Is there anybody there? Would you like to come forward? What's your name? Do you know you're dead? What year was it that you died? Do you know that you... And it's like, for fuck's sake. Stop it. Stop it.
At that point, you get up and leave the room and go and find a quiet
you
spot.
just go. Do you remember we did one, didn't we? But it was a couple of, maybe a year or so ago, Viv. And I must admit, I was like a child. I just threw my toys out the pram. And I said to Viv, that's it, I've had enough. I'm not doing it anymore. I can't work with these fucking arseholes. They drive me mental. I said, I don't ask for much, just a little bit of common sense. But what do I get? Fucking morons. And that was it. Well, you had to talk me down, didn't you? It was like, oh, dear, oh, dear.
Oh, dear.
Bloody hell and that.
Oh, God.
There's some rotten bastards out there.
Carl's just said something about that fancy dress. Oh, my God, Carl. Seriously, that night.
That was the galleries, wasn't it?
Yeah, we found the dressing up cupboard that the staff use when they go and do their tours and things. We dressed up and we walked around and had a few laughs with people. But seriously, when me and Mary was on our own, we found ourselves on our own in a part. I can't even remember what part it was in now. I think it was the ladies' washroom. And I'm standing there talking to Neri, right? Seriously, I'm facing her, she's facing me, and we can see all around the room between the two of us. And she jumped. She doesn't get scared for nothing. She shit herself and jumped. I'm like, what? Something's just touched me. And I'm watching her. There's nothing behind her, because we were dressed up. It seemed to invited certain activity. It's like after that, I sort of ran out and went back to the dressage. Where are you going? I'm fucking taking this off. I said, I'm not wearing it no more. It's going to touch me next. It was quite an unnerving time, to be fair. So, yeah, when you think you're playing pranks on people like that, it can
backfire on you. I have no problem with that. No problem at all with that, Cliff. Absolutely none at all whatsoever. Yeah. I always say a prayer on protection before I go and investigate. I mean, sometimes I just do it internally, but I include people that are with me in on it without them even knowing a lot of the time. But sometimes we just go out if they, especially if it's a new group of people, because they want to feel protected. They want to feel that they've got some sort of, protection, and you do it for them. Not as a matter, not because you want to give them the impression, but you do want to genuinely protect people. And I think that it's great to do that.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
that's why they won't talk to you half the time, isn't it? Because they're bored with the same shit.
It's the same thing, yeah.
Same shit,
I think they think it's hilarious when me and you are having an argument.
Oh,
do you want to come closer? Fucking stay over there.
Which is why, when you relax and you start mucking around and that, because it's like a normal interaction, all of a sudden they're interested then, because they don't want, are you dead? Do you know when you died? What they want is talking about Joe Blogs around the corner and how you got pissed up. And so then they can feel a part of the conversation and not like they're an added little bit, Yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree. But Dan, when I see something, I don't say it's just your imagination, and then you're seeing it and telling them to come closer when there's 4 of them.
Yeah, yeah.
He's such a git for that. When you don't know what it is. He's telling him, come closer. And I'm saying, no, Dan, they can stay where they are. And they are like in the background, creeping closer because me and Dan are having an argument. Don't call him anymore.
It's funny that night because we didn't pick anything up behind us. When we listened back one of the EVPs, you could hear footsteps behind us in the grass bit, which was interesting.
Dan, don't tell me that.
You're all right, though. You're all right. It was a long time ago now, wasn't it?
Yeah, but we're going back.
We are going back there soon, so that'll be good. So,
Can I just say, Dan? Can I just say what a fabulous T-shirt you're wearing tonight?
I know this is one. I think you got me this one, Viv. In fact, I'm sure. Yes, you did. This is one of your presents. I can't. Bigfoot. I love a Bigfoot T-shirt, mate. You also got me a corresponding Dogman one, which I also love.
I need to get you another one.
They're brilliant. Love them. Right. So tomorrow night we're back again. I'm brushing you off here. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to.
Man.
What you got to say about it, Derek? Go on, start on Dan. Go on, fight.
Who's this?
Eric needs to fight. Fight.
Scored it. Fight.
I must say, before we finish, Eric has been busy making REM pods.
It's like a paranormal Santa's workshop around Eric's gaff. He's got so much stuff that he's knocking up at the minute, and he's doing. And I must admit, they are very, very good.
Well, I'm
liking them.
I'm sending
them a lot
for the month. Every single one that I've ever made for everybody. So they're going out because one, I don't want them sitting around the house anymore, and two, I want to take about a month break so I can save up some money and get some more stuff.
What you're saying, Eric, is Rita won't allow you to have them hanging around the house anymore because she doesn't want you making a mess in there.
No, actually.
Be a man, Eric. Tell us the truth.
Yeah, cleans and cooks.
So, are you going to be doing spirit? Was it called the spirit music boxes next? Is that your?
Want to try something like that? But I was thinking about making a skull tripwire one.
Oh, that'd be good. That would be very good.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's proper industrious, is our Eric.
Yeah.
He's proper industrious.
Next
He's
time,
a very, very gifted fella.
Charge people for them, or even if it's just for the postage. You shouldn't be out of pocket, Eric. So start charging.
The next ones are. Well, I'm trying to sell some.
Yeah. Well, I know that we'll be doing a lot of filming with Eric's REM pods, and we will be promoting them. So if you do want one, then you'd have to get in touch, and he'll maybe make one to order.
And these are good. These are good REM pods. These aren't the rubbish that's knocked up on eBay. These are proper good ones.
Yeah.
Cliff wants to know if you can build a time machine, please, Eric.
Yeah, I can build you a time machine, Cliff. Let's try.
Well, wouldn't it be great to go back in time? If you could, where would you go back to?
That's a very good point.
Victoria.
And where?
Victorian area.
Mm.
Why?
Because I just love that era. You know, this one stuff.
Yeah, I'd be 19th century. I'd go back to the Victorian period.
Would you?
I'd go back to them. Yeah, I'd love to go back to that period.
I'd go back to pre-civilization as we know it today, pre the dinosaurs. I'd go back one further to see fellow human beings that are living and building things, just to tell them, no, you don't want to build it like that. You're making it wrong.
No, I would do. I would go back 50 years, and I would go forward 50 years if I could. And then what I would do was I would get the racing results, and then I'd come back. I'd like Back to the Future.
But see, there's a problem with that. When you go forward and you come back, you're not coming back on your own timeline.
No, you come back a different timeline, aren't you? That's the thing. Interesting, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Interesting. It's interesting. Very interesting. Oh, yeah, Victorian period, I'd like to go.
It go
Neolithic.
Neolithic. And Cliff says Nikola Tesla would be my first port of call.
Yeah, mine too.
Buy shares in his gear.
Would you?
Nikola Tesla? Oh, yeah. I think that's who my spirit guide is.
Attacks on your bike.
Yeah, no, I'd literally tell these people of all these prehistoric that predate man and tell them that they're building it wrong. Just to wind them up.
They're supposed to be built in the shape of a teepee or a pyramid. Then we wouldn't have houses that are like this anymore. We'd have pyramid houses.
I would take back modern stuff and then just leave it there, and then thousands of years later they'd dig it up. There's an iron here that's like it's got an electric cable on it with a plug.
Do you know what, Dan? I think that somebody may have done that already.
Yep, just by the pictures I've been seeing lately of.
Because some people have been, they're digging up some real weird things in weird places that should never be there and can't be there. Yeah, I think it's been happening.
Footprint somewhere of a sole of a trainer, or sneaker as the Americans call them, and it's got the machine stitching underneath it.
Oh, really?
It's embedded into a rock, and when they carbon dated it, it's like 40 million years old.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, hang on, that's a modern trainer. How the hell's...
Yeah.
There's lots of weird things out there that will you know, lots and lots of weird things out there.
Yes. Nettie, come with me. We'll go and tell these people how to build their buildings properly.
That'd be good, wouldn't it?
And then get beheaded for doing it or something. I think it's funny. I do think it's funny.
It is.
Oh, dear. Well, I have some exciting news for Simply Spooky Network.
Exciting news.
So, in September, sometime in September, there is a new show that's coming called, what was it called, Dad?
Nonces Get Payback. It's called, you got me thinking now, and it's my show. It is called Magical Kingdoms.
Magical Kingdoms. And what will the shows be about, roughly?
The shows will be about the Fae, because I've got a massive, massive interest, and I have for years, in the fairy realm. So it's going to be about the Fae and magical creatures and people's encounters with them, personal stories. So if you've got a personal story or you've had an encounter with what you think might be the Fae, or you've had a magical encounter, let me know. You don't have to come on. It'd be great if you come on, but you don't have to come on. You can just let me know your story, and we will read it out and we will talk about it, because, as I say, it's one of those things that it's been, ever since I was a child, I've been enamored with the fairy realm or the Fae realm. So it's going to bring it to the fore. So we're looking forward to that.
It's too.
So that'll be good.
Exciting. And we have a new show.
Excellent.
Starting, not this Sunday, maybe next Sunday, with Eric and I, called The Spiritual Hour. When I say Spiritual Hour, it will be readings. It will be...
Hiccup, the pissed up theory.
It will be readings, it will be meditations, it will be learning the secrets to unlock the door to your gatekeepers and that sort of thing. So it's not just me doing all the work with my spirit guides, it will be giving you the tools to be able to do it for yourself. So it won't be me doing readings every week. I might finish off, depending on how hard we're working and how tired I feel, whether I'm able to do that. But so the Spiritual Hour will start next not this Sunday, next Sunday on Simply Spooky with Dan and myself. So keep your eyes peeled.
Eric and you, innit?
Yeah, me and Eric. Not me and you, Dan. Me and Eric.
You and Eric.
I'm laughing at Carl's.
Yeah, I've unlocked my gate and can get rid of people now. That one.
Oh, it's funny. I love Carl.
Good old boy. Good boy, Carl.
He's a good old boy, yeah.
He's a good lad.
So, so there are 2 new shows hitting the network. If anybody out there would like to come and stream their show on Simply Spooky, just get in contact with us and let us know. We welcome most people. Rob Demarest. Oh,
I'd like to officially announce my new show, Spiritual Hours. It's 9 straight hours.
Oh, bless him. I love Rob Demarest. Do you know what? What I like about him is he doesn't pull any punches. He just tells you how it is, and I just think it's great. So, Rob, love to get you on a show one
We'd
day.
love to, Rob, if you'd be
Let me
kind
hit
enough.
you up. It'd be brilliant.
We'd love to get you on. Alistair, I tried her 3 times, and 3 times she got back to me. We arranged, and 3 times she, for whatever reasons, couldn't make it on. It's a shame because I enjoy her material. I enjoy her shows, so it's a shame, really.
I want to ask Rob Demarest a
Hi, Rob.
live on air. We have one of your friends coming on in September, and we would love to get you on the same show as them. I'm going to message you privately to see if it's something you'd be up for and discuss it off air. But yeah, fingers crossed. Hopefully you'll say yes.
Yes, that'd be great. That'd be absolutely superb.
Yeah.
So that wraps the evening up, I think, doesn't it, Viv?
I think so. I'm looking forward to next week's talk, Fakery and the Paranormal. I think it's going to be, I'm going to have to put warnings up because I think that discussion's going to get pretty wild, very heated, like I was at the beginning of the show.
Yeah, but if you're passionate, it does grind your gears, doesn't it?
Well, yeah, but I just think sometimes, though, Dan.
Rob says, let's rumble. Rob Demarest says, let's rumble.
Yeah, I'll message you
Royal
privately, Rob.
It is popcorn hour, Annette. It is popcorn hour.
But the thing is, you try and do it without sort of calling any individual out, and it's quite hard not to blurt out people's names. And I find myself having to sort of kick myself under the table or pinching one of my fingers or something just to stop myself from doing it, because I've seen these things over and over and over again. And the longer these people are in and within the paranormal field, you think that they would know better, but they don't. It's just like all sense leaves the room. It's like, and I want to take people and shake them and say, grow the fuck up, will you? You know, but you can't.
It's great. I think, to be honest, what you need to assume, work from this basis, right? 95% of the people in the paranormal are lying bastards.
Yeah.
The other 5% are all right. So let's work from that framework, because from the ones I've seen on YouTube and that, I wouldn't trust them at all. So, yeah, I've seen too much fakery, too much nonsense, and it pisses me right off.
Mm-hmm.
And that's
too
it.
much armchair investigating where they'll watch other people but not actually go out themselves, and yet they're an expert. That is another thing that gets on my nerves. It's like, really?
I think, to be honest, these people do need to be called out for what they are. A lot of them, because they do so much damage to the field, and they flood an already. It's a minefield, isn't it? Paranormal.
It's a good question It's a good question from Carl.
Do you know what? I'm getting to an age now, Carl, where it's all pissing me off.
Is there something that doesn't piss you off? Is there something that you look forward to, Dan?
It always
investigating. Ghost hunting doesn't piss me off. It's the other people in the field that piss me off. Not all of them. There's a lot of good people out there. There's a lot of good, decent people out there. But like TV and stuff like that, and you know, I've given up watching it. I haven't watched it for years. You're a young man.
Is she?
Yeah, she's cute.
She's gonna backcall me.
Can I just say to you, Carl, Dan's a lot older than 50, trust me.
46?
Liar. You're going to get pimples, Dan.
Hey, I'm 51 and I still get pimples. What are you talking about?
No, Dan's nose will grow long.
What, longer than it is now?
God, it's impossible. Cut teeth with my nose.
Just call Dan Pinocchio.
Do you remember that cartoon character called Nosy Bonk?
No.
Nosy Bonk, Dan? He used to wear a mask, and it was a big nose, and it was a man.
Oh
wearing a black
God,
suit.
yeah, I remember that. Yeah,
He used to go around nosing everywhere, called nosy
exactly,
bomb.
innit? No, that's right. Great big plastic nose on it, wasn't it? A great, yeah.
Oh dear, I used to love that. Yeah. Oh,
I think, do you know what? I was so, when I look back to when I was in my 30s and stuff, I was so much more relaxed, accepting, but the older you get, you think, I'm not putting up with this shit anymore.
Do you think
I'm of an age now where I'm done with all that crap. I'm not going to put up with it anymore. I'm going to call it like it is.
Do you think, though, the paranormal field, as we're getting older and we're seeing more of the idiots come out of the closet, so to speak, do you see the more longer we're in it, the more we're going to see, the more we think, oh my God. And we end up doing what the older ones did back in the day and just pull away and do it all privately.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what's going to happen. I think we are at that point. I think I've been at that point for the last 10 years. It has to be done, Annette. There's nothing wrong with it. It has to be done.
Yeah.
No, you get to the point. You see misdoings, and you've got to call it out for what it is.
The trouble is, though, there's a way of calling it out for what it is. See, Dan, you've got a filter and can do it nicely. I don't. Because I'm common where I'm from. It's just like, what a fucking idiot, and they hear me. Oh, if only he could.
I wish.
That'd be nice, wouldn't it?
I can build a bomb, but I'm not going to do it.
They definitely are, Robert. They are. Do you know what? I'm going to sound. I'm old, but I'm going to sound proper old now. I think it's things like social media, and particularly things like TikTok, because you look at the stuff on there. It's making people's attention spans much smaller than they used to be. You know, and the kids today are not all of them, but a vast majority of them seem to be thick as two short planks because they're not exercising their brain. Technology's doing everything for them.
Yeah, exactly. You know, like kids and they're looking at their tablet like.
Do you know what I learned the other day? And it blew me away. And it's America over here. A lot of the kids can't use a normal clock.
Mm-hmm.
They can only tell the time by using a digital clock.
Yep.
Yeah.
They can't work out with it. And I thought it was a joke, but it's not. It's a factual thing. They can't tell the time anymore. And you think to yourself, and of course, you know, university is not what it used to be, is it? When you look at the type of degrees they're going for, it's all bollocks.
Yeah.
It's all bollocks. It's pointless.
Well, I know the time zone over there, but I can still tell the time by where the sun is in the sky. So.
Exactly, isn't it? Exactly. Well, yeah, exactly. They do. Yep. What's the one I saw on there the other day? There's a new one going on that TikTok where, I don't know, they get money or what. Do you know what? I do think to myself, there's no industry anymore because they all want to be TikTok famous or YouTube famous. Yeah. And all they want to do is go out there and make videos and act like pricks or cause problems in society. They don't actually want to go out there and contribute to society anymore or put something into society or build society. And I think to myself, we're going to leave them with that. We're not doing them a justice. No, because when everybody's gone and it's just them left, they're going to be bollocksed.
Yeah.
You know? And what happens when all the power goes out?
What? Yeah. With both hands at 10, like that? Shh. I
used to know a kid years ago. I kid you not. I used to know a kid years ago, and he had like it was like one of these games, not on Xbox, but PS2 or whatever it was at the time. Mm-hmm. And he would talk to me, and he wouldn't even. He'd go like that, and he'd be looking at the thing, and his hands would be going 10 to the dozen, and he'd be looking at me, and then like going back and looking, and I'm thinking, how'd you do that? Yeah. But the kid couldn't write his name.
Wow.
That's terrible, isn't it? Mm. Yeah, and that's the problem. That's the problem. Do you know what? They questioned some children in America the other day, and I couldn't believe it. They did. Do you know they didn't know the significance of the 4th of July?
Really?
These were teenagers,
Wow.
and I'm like, what? It's frightening.
Yeah.
I saw something on television. I'm watching a program. Okay, I won't name the program, but this person
Isn't it?
on this program refers to themselves as they.
So, oh yeah.
Right. So when they're calling themselves they, it took me a minute or two to understand what they meant by they. And I thought, well, in my day, right, just touching on sexuality, you were either gay, bi, straight, or trans. There was no they or fluid or triangular or whatever you love. It was just that. And all these new phrases are coming in, and I'm thinking, why? Why?
What did one of them call themselves the other day? They called themselves. Oh, what? I can't. It's confused me now. It was along the lines of they were bisexual, but they didn't like sex, so they didn't have sex. But I can't even remember. It was so confusing. It was like I have no idea what you're on about.
So in the future,
Oops, sorry. Go ahead.
go on, Dad. Go on, Eric.
It was much simpler understanding what you just said than somebody calling themselves bisexual, transgender, whatever. Yeah.
But it makes you wonder, for the ghost hunters in the future, they're going to be sitting there. Are you there? They?
Yeah, I know, right?
What?
What?
Do you know what? It's all very well saying, well, it's my rights, it's this and that. But when you change language, you're fucking about with a very, very dodgy area there. Because by changing language, you can change the whole perception and concept of something. And that's what happens. And that's a societal crack. And when that starts appearing, I think society's had it.
Hey, Wayne.
And you know I'm playing for it? And I know it's not going to be very well. Like, hey, Wayne, I'm playing China. Because they're putting things. Yeah, the kids in. Do you know TikTok's banned in China?
Is
and
it?
It's a Chinese. Yeah, and it's a Chinese thing because they're flooding the West with it. Their kids are getting brighter and cleverer, and our kids are getting more stupid.
Yeah.
Communism is rotten, mate. And anybody thinks that it's the answer, socialism or communism, they've never lived under it. They've never seen it.
Can I just say, by the way, and people are going to hate me for this in England, but I don't care. I want to say a big congratulations to the Spanish women's football team for achieving the World Cup. They achieved a lot. They did play well. England wasn't good on the day. So well done to Spain.
Not real football, though, is it?
Well, football is football,
Not real
Dan.
football, is it? Not real football, is it? Not real
Football is football, Dan.
It's like the American women's team, they got beaten by a load of 14-year-olds the other week, didn't they? They got beaten 15-0.
Oh, dear.
GR football is when you throw a pigskin rectangle ball through the air. So
good moving that.
Well.
Yeah. Oh, do you know what? I'm past that now. If I offend people, I offend them.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Hi, Dave. Howdy, Bill. I hope you're doing well, bud.
All right, Bill. Yeah, no, I think the days of like the minute we start podcasting, we're most probably offending somebody. Somewhere in the world, somebody is being offended. You know what? Life is too short. Just be yourself. Just have some common sense.
You know what? I don't get offended. People say what they want about me. I really don't care. At the end of the day, they're just words. And if you think words are going to hurt you, then you're not going to survive this world.
Yep,
exactly. Exactly, Dan.
You know? Sorry. Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly. You're doing them a justice. You're toughening them up. That's what you're doing. You're toughening them up, preparing them for the real world.
Yeah. It's like we're going to be offending the spirit people. Like, oh, You've got to show respect at all times. Well, what is respect? What is respect? It's all in the eye of the beholder, isn't it? Respect.
Yep.
And respect's got to be earned and not given. That's why you do it with people that are alive. And it's the same with spirits that have passed over or died or whatever. Respect has to be earned, not given.
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
And
I'm not being
again,
funny as well. If somebody's a prick in life, then they're a prick. As far as I'm concerned,
exactly.
you know.
Doesn't make them a demon, by the way, before anyone starts off.
No.
Bloody demons.
What's the next say? I like the caption I saw. What's offending you now? I don't know. The media has not told me yet. That's true. I was throwing a knife or something. Well, exactly.
Yeah, but poltergeists don't do that. A poltergeist, and this is another thing that gets me. Poltergeists is from
Exactly,
us.
Bill.
It's within. It's not a spirit doing it. It is us doing it. That is what poltergeist phenomenon is, Wayne.
Exactly.
So, you know, when people say, oh, poltergeist threw a knife at me or they threw this at me, take a look yourself, because most probably that energy has come from you within to start with. So you're only doing it to yourself. Stop blaming the poltergeist.
I like the saying, and I think it's not just the saying, it's the fact that offence isn't given, but it's taken. And if you take it, then that's your problem. You've got to live with it.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly. But there is like offence being offensive and there's being obscene.
Oh, you can be horrible.
Between the two. Yeah. So.
Sarah, sorry, Sarah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fair enough. Yeah, the thing is, it's not trans people, is it? It's a small minority of lunatics.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's nothing to do with the trans community. It's nothing. It's just a small minority of instigators.
Yeah, and do you know what?
It's generally the people causing the problems are people that are not trans or whatever.
I know some trans people.
Tell somebody that trans anyways. Just tell them I'm a woman.
Yeah, but I know some trans people. If you'd met them for the first time, you wouldn't even know that they were trans.
Yeah, exactly.
What was the cry?
Cry more, piss less.
Yeah, it's true.
That's brilliant.
It's true. And it's like that within the paranormal community. People always crying out, oh, this or that. But when you get one really, really bad, rotten apple in the cart, like there has been of recent times, those that were crying out, oh, they're picking on me, they're bullying me, oh, they've blocked me, oh, they've done this and they've done that. And this person has been a bit of a nuisance, let's say, within the paranormal community. When it comes to them taking a stand and doing something about it, they keep quiet. And if that is the case, then you have no right to complain about that person in the first place. You know, you have the opportunity to do something. And if you don't want to, or you don't, then that's down to you. Stop moaning about it. End of.
Exactly. So I take the high road and leave them standing with their mouth wide open. Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. What are you looking at, Midnight?
She's looking at you, kid. Looking at you, kid.
I hate that does that.
I think what's happened there, Robert, is that they've taken a community and they politicised it. And I think the worst one for politicising that are the police.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Because you speak to a lot of gay people, you speak to a lot of people that are trans, and they've got no interest in that at all.
No.
It's just been used as it's been used as a way of separating people and dividing us. And that's the thing, we shouldn't be divided. We should be getting together more now than ever.
You don't want to get enough of them together because too many snowflakes means a bloody war, doesn't it? Because they'll all think they're right.
Not allowed snowflakes over here, Wayne, because they're white now.
Oh, yeah.
There you go, exactly. People are people. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Agreed.
Same over here. Same here. Well, they're all singing from the same hymn book, aren't they? It's more global government now, isn't it, than individual countries. It's more of a global thing now.
and fake news.
It's all, yeah, they've had that for years.
Right, guys, we are 1:30, so we are going to bring tonight's show to a close. Thank you, everyone in the chat,
Totally,
for
Bill.
making it what it is. We loved our little rant tonight. Just remember, we do love you all, really. Doesn't matter what you are. Well,
Exactly,
if you're horrible, Dan will go and punch you on the nose. But
Exactly. Yeah, I punch me on the nose. But don't,
yeah.
you can punch me, but don't ever go at me. People are people, exactly.
We are back on tomorrow night
Exactly,
on the
Bill.
Simply Spooky Network at 8 p.m.
Okay.
Do pop in and say hello or give us a watch if you can. We are back next Tuesday to talk about fakery and the paranormal. So I will do a bit of an intro, and I will be putting up the over 18s and warning it could get a bit feisty.
Agree, Sarah.
Don't forget, we do have a YouTube channel on the Simply Spooky Network. Check us out on YouTube if you can.
You better be in it.
See back on past shows. See our show that has gone viral with the cast of the Alaskan Killer Bigfoot. If you are a fan of the Alaskan Killer Bigfoot, can I ask that you get on their Facebook page and put on there that you do want to see the next season, because I think that they are battling the network.
Excellent, Bill.
And trying to get the second season out there, which is
Thanks, Claire.
it's a great show. It's a great show. So if you can support them, please do. You will find it on most digital networks. I think Discovery have it, Amazon Prime have it, whatever it is that you use for streaming. Check them out. Alaskan Killer Bigfoot and the Simply Spooky Network. And don't forget the Things Network. There are a lot of great shows
Brilliant shows
on the Things Network. Please give them a look. Say hello. Tell them that the Simply Spooky show sent you over if you're looking for the first time. Just let them know that we said hi. So, last words, guys. Over to you.
Me? Be yourself. Always.
All I get is complaints. God, I did that. Good night, Sarah.
Night, Sarah.
Night, everyone. Be good.
Night.